Okay, Lowe's 668, customer Dill. We have a very wide open kitchen in this one. And in fact, it's one of the larger kitchens that we've seen here the last few days. So I want to kind of show you the room first. That is a hallway down into a different, I think, dining room area. This is actually a pantry, and I just want to show you there's a lot of room in there. It actually is a walk-in pantry, and that's unusual. We normally see that just as a little lean-in thing, and so that's a lot of space inside there. This one is where the sink and the dishwasher are at currently, and then there's a knee wall, pony wall with a raised bar, and again, a lot of people are taking that out. They're changing to an open floor plan look. So starting with the measurements, that wall is going to stay. The right return wall is going to stay, but that wall is only 23.5 inches deep from the corner of the room to the end of the wall, 23.5, and pantries are typically built at 24 inches deep. So there's two ways to handle this. We could reduce the depth of the pantry to 21, and then we'd have to pay someone to get rid of the electrical that's here. This one could come through the back of the cabinet, all that. The other way that this could be done is actually put a wall cabinet up on top, increase depth to about 15 inches. That way it has a little bit of extra room inside. Then we leave that space, just like you have here, to leave that space, and put another base on the bottom. Again, the same orientation facing out. And that cabinet then would have like a baseboard wrapped around the bottom of that cabinet to where it looked more like a piece of furniture instead of it actually being a separate pantry unit. You have a ton of storage in there, so this would actually be something that you could keep a coffee bar, like all your Keurig pods and stuff like this. It could also be in the upper cabinet. If we made that cabinet a little deeper, it could be like a liquor cabinet or something like this, or any type of carafes or something that's bigger that would fit in there. Now, I'm doing that so that will create a less expensive situation with your electrical changes. Also, because you already have a light right here, that light could turn out to be a gimbaled eyeball light. In other words, what this is being built as, that could be the focus for. In other words, it could point at that and create a focal point for the room as far as that piece. Now, just for the designers here, this electrical, plumbing, all of this wall, this is going away. This customer's getting rid of it. This is a open crawl space underneath the house. So they're going to have a plumber, electrician, someone besides Lowe's come in, pop those out, bring them up underneath where the island is going to go at. Now, right now, they've got a combination of laminate flooring, linoleum flooring, laminate flooring. This entire downstairs area is about to change to an LVP plank vinyl floor, okay? Now, that being said, the flooring that's in here is actually vinyl. It's going to have a sacrificial layer of 1/4-inch plywood underneath it. And because you have two thicknesses, that thickness over there and this thickness here, we would need to cut out whatever's going to be put in for our cabinets down to the subfloor so that our cabinets are not going to actually be on top of this floor layer. In other words, that gives them a chance to take the other flooring up and put the new flooring down. You don't want to keep piling on flooring layers, especially when the original one was already a separate thickness. So your flooring contractor will do the same. He'll come in and take out all of the flooring, take out all the sacrificial layers down to the subfloor, and then he'll lay the new vinyl plank in around the cabinets, and that'll be after the cabinets are installed. Now let's take a look over here on this wall. Again, it's pantry, hallway, then we have the turn, then we have the window over here on this side of the room. So a couple of things I looked at. The center line of the actual 220 for the back of this is 48 inches from the right-hand side. The center line of the actual stove is 54 inches. So you really can't move the stove to the left any than what it already is, because they're going to get from behind where the plug is. But one of the things I was talking to your husband about here, Mr. Dill, is that instead of this turning the corner like this, and the upper cabinet again turning the corner, make this cabinet go straight in to the wall, make that cabinet above go straight into the wall, and create that straight line across the back of the cabinets. When you turn the corner, you have the two smaller drawers, the two smaller doors. You create a small little niche right here beside the stove. One of the things we talked about on the phone was actually moving the refrigerator down about 10 or 12 inches, which is fine. There's plenty of room to do that. And making this cabinet space a little shorter. If you balance this out, you'll end up with about 24 to 30 inches of space between it and the stove, which is going to make you a very nice sized balancing between all of these pieces. And that'll look good from the other side of the room. Now, one of the things we talked about too is the molding that's on the cabinets that's here is a 2 1/4 inch crown molding, which is a typical crown molding for Lowe's. But when you look at the molding that's in the room, that is some big molding. That's like 4 5/8 on the face. In fact, it's 92.5 inches to the bottom of that molding in a 9-foot or a 96-inch ceiling, an 8-foot ceiling height. So when we start looking at this, the customer said that they're planning on later removing this molding from the room and going back to a smaller set molding. So part of our demo would be to tear the cabinets out. Part of it would be to remove part of this molding from where we're working. The customer wants 39-inch upper cabinets, 3 inches down from the ceiling with an appropriate size molding. So something in this size main of molding is what we need with a starter trim on the top of the cabinets. Now on the refrigerator, this is your typical LG Samsung type refrigerator. They're larger. It's 35 7/8 inches wide. We definitely have to have a 37-inch hole for this. You'll see a cabinet that's missing. It's because they had to take it out just to get this thing to fit in. And it is literally straight up against the other side over here, buttered up and stuck in the hole as it were. So we got to make sure when we go do this, we have a 37-inch opening, 72 inches tall. They had to take the cabinet loose above just to get the thing to sit underneath it, I think. So part of this is a remodel for the appliances to become a new standard. The stove is going to be replaced with a new stove, but it'll still be a 30-inch stove, so no change there. We did talk about a decorative hood instead of a microwave here, and possibly putting the microwave in the island as a drawer microwave or as a door microwave in an island cabinet. Now, looking at the room as far as the length, 172 inches is what the back wall measurement is. So you've got plenty of room for the island, but you definitely want to stay off of the front of the refrigerator. That refrigerator is about 34 inches deep. Again, big refrigerator. So we want to stay off the front of the refrigerator about 42 inches with the actual front of the island so that our dishwasher in the working area doesn't have to be so tight. With this wall behind me gone, with this opening here gone, you've literally got all that space right over into the front room. So having the island here in the middle, about a 6.5 foot, 72 inch, 78, 84, somewhere in that range. Stay about 42 to 48 off of this window and about 42, 48 off that door. Should have a really nice, reasonable size island. And again, she's looking at maybe about 4.5 feet, 54 inches or so off the front of the cabinet, at least 42, 48 off the front of the refrigerator. On the left-hand side here, you've got your window, you've got your door. I've given you measurements for all of those. One thing to note here, there is a vent in the floor here, but I don't see anything that's going to be underneath, so there shouldn't be any problems as far as that goes. And as far as the appliances, she is keeping the dishwasher, which is a standard 24. But again, the microwave is probably going to change and the stove might change as well. But it should be a standard width as far as that goes. If you have any questions about this kitchen, especially we're talking about some of the concepts and ideas behind this area over here or whatever, feel free to give me a call at 423-650-1051. Have a good day.